Hey everybody, and welcome to Trivia Ronin. I'm your host, Matt McNally. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch or after the fact on YouTube, welcome. We're happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. 1, we're honor code here, which means you keep your own score. Feel free to cheat. You get nothing. 2, after each question, you're going to have 45 seconds to answer. We'll do a 35 today. Because we're just going to keep it moving. 35 seconds to answer. Don't show your answer until the time is up. If you're with us on Twitch, put your answer in like 5 seconds before the end. That should line up with us live tonight. We've got 30 questions, 10 of them visual, 20 of them written, and then a story at the end worth 10, possible 40 points. Without further ado, let's play Trivia Ronin, and it goes a little something like this. Question 1, according to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, what is the first of the 5 stages of grief? 35 seconds, because I want to get to the drinking. According to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, the woman who coined it. First of the 5 stages. The first of the 5 stages. What is the first one? Good grief, Charlie Brown. You know what I mean? The first of the 5 stages of grief. What could it be? The first of the 5 stages. Admission works, but it's actually a good guess in the sense that it's the opposite. Denial. It's not just a river in Egypt, everybody. Denial is the answer to the question. If you got it wrong, well, you know, you're denying yourself. Question 2, what's the tallest mountain in modern Greece? Hello, board gamer, good to see you. Just in time. Tallest mountain in modern Greece. 35 seconds. Also, hello. I swear my face is the same, but my phone doesn't want to let me in. Let's watch me on Twitch. Very confusing. But you know. One more viewer. What's the tallest mountain in modern Greece? What's it called? What's the name of the tallest mountain in modern Greece? And that's how trivia works. I ask you a question, you give me an answer. 2-1. Of course, the answer to this one, same as the tallest mountain in ancient Greece. Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus. Same one. 2 for 2, Larry. Killing it. Question 3. This is interesting to me, but it's a guesser. 3 of the 4 assassinated U.S. presidents, Lincoln, McKinley, and Kennedy, were fatally shot on what day of the week? 35 seconds. What day? Obviously not the same date. Can't have 3 simultaneous presidents. Apparently we have 2 right now, and that's too many. Depending on where you're from. Of course, if you think there's 2 presidents right now, you're wrong. Question 3. 3 of the 4 assassinated U.S. presidents. And Twitch, I'll give you a bonus point if you can name the 4th assassinated president. Bonus point for the 4th assassinated president. 2-1. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Yes, 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 yes. Good guess. It is indeed, of course. Yep. Thursday, Sunday, all good guesses. Of course, the weekend, because, you know, when you go to the theater. Friday, though. Friday's when you go to the theater. Friday's when you have a parade in Dallas. Friday's when you go to the World's Columbian Exposition in Buffalo, apparently. I only know that from musical theater. Question 4. What's the colloquial name for the part of the anatomy formerly called the laryngeal prominence? 35 seconds. The laryngeal prominence. The 4th, for those keeping score at home, James Garfield. Shot on a train platform, not on a Friday, apparently. By Charles Guiteau. William McKinley, of course, killed by Leon Czolgosz, as we all know. Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth, and as we also know, JFK was killed by the CIA and the Mafia. 2-1. And Ted Cruz's dad. Thank you, Larry. That is correct. Ted Cruz's dad did kill JFK, as we all know. Adam's apple's the answer to this question. I wasn't even talking about it. But laryngeal prominence, men and women both have them. You just see them more often in men because the larynx is bigger. Question 5. If you call yourself a Mancunian, what city are you from? 35 seconds. Mancunians are from where? It's a tough one. I'm not going to do the accent because that'll give it away. Hint, it's not offensive if I do the accent, if that helps anybody. Unless you're from here, and then you probably would be mad at my accent. Although I was doing spot-on accents last night at work. Good guess, QVC. You nailed it, Twitchers. Everybody got it, of course. Manchester. Mancunians are from Manchester, aren't they? They're from the north. Question 6. In a nod to the products they make, what is the 3-letter stock ticker symbol for Harley Davidson? And it's not just like HDS. In a nod to the products that they make, what is the 3-letter stock ticker symbol? Oops, forgot how to talk. In a nod to the products they make, what is the 3-letter stock ticker symbol for Harley Davidson? They do make, of course, motorcycles. 2, 1. What would the 3 letters be? Anybody got it? Yeah, QVC's got some money in it, I'm sure. It is indeed Hog. They make hogs. Thank you. Backfiring car. Question 7. Within 3 years, when did Skynet wipe out humanity with nuclear weapons in the Terminator verse? Is Terminator verse a thing? It is now. Within 3 years, according to James Cameron's movie franchise, when did Skynet? BKR is a really good guess. What would BKR be? Probably like Baskin Robbins, right? Maybe that's why they didn't take it. Within 3 years, when did Skynet wipe out humanity? First Terminator was early 80s, I believe. Just if that helps anybody. 2-1. Anybody? Ooh, went a little high there. 2025, also a little high. Surprisingly, 1997. 1997 was when Skynet went down. Bit off on that prediction, but you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You might as well. If he was right, we would have been like, wow. In 2010, the Online Computer Library Center sued a hotel in New York because their rooms were all themed using what system? 35 seconds. Them librarians. I also need to do a rewatch, Board Gamer. I feel like I forget about the first one. Because he's the bad guy. In 2010, apologies for the outside sounds, but it's hot. It's hot here in Ronin headquarters. The Online Computer Library Center, or the OCLC, sued a hotel in New York. Your 7-second hint, that hotel is called the Library Hotel. 2-1. Anybody got it? Yep. QVC gets it. Yeah, of course. They got upset because they were using the Dewey Decimal System. Each floor had books in the room that correlated. In fact, each room had books in the room that correlated to that number of the Dewey Decimal System. And they got sued for it. Question 9. In 1933, the chocolate chip cookie was invented at what Whitman, Massachusetts hotel? 35 seconds. You've probably never stayed here, but you've definitely heard of it. Missed a comma in there. Whitman, Massachusetts. The chocolate chip cookie. Invented. Famously. At this place. And remains a part of its culture to this day. What? Massachusetts hotel? 2-1, who's got it? Let's see it. Yeah. QVC gets it. I like the Hershey Hotel. Sounds dirty. It's actually the Toll House Inn, as in Toll House. Yeah, I know. But Hershey Hotel sounds dirtier. Question 10. What state's license plate has the slogan "Famous Potatoes" on the bottom? Board gamer, I'll probably agree. I don't know if maybe chocolate chips were invented before. But apparently it is the same recipe as on the bag of Toll House now. Toll House chips. I'm sure they've changed it. But, you know, they pretend they didn't. Question 10. What state's license plate has the slogan "Famous Potatoes"? Famous Potatoes. And if you don't know, yep, also famous for their beet industry. But they've been more famous for potatoes in Idaho. Medaho? Idaho. Idaho. There you go. Guys, that's round 1 in the books. Amazing. Good work, everybody. We'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll do another round of goodies. Stay tuned. Yay. Thank you, as always, everybody who's joining us on Wednesday. Good to see you. We're trucking along. We're going to keep this thing moving. 10 more questions. You know the drill. Again, no theme today. We're just going to keep it moving. Question number 11 goes a little something like this. According to AT&T, this Hallmark holiday is when the most collect calls are placed in the United States. I say Hallmark holiday. They didn't invent it. But it's one of those holidays that sells greeting cards. Let's put it that way. So this is not a religious holiday. According to AT&T, this Hallmark holiday is when the most collect calls are placed within the United States. Is that true now? I don't know, because I don't know if people still make collect calls. However, at one point, this holiday, most collect calls. This is one of those, if you educated guess it, you'll probably get it. 3, 2, 1, show them. Yeah, QVC gets it. Christmas, good guess. It was going to be one or the other. It's Father's Day, of course. Because, you know, Dad can foot the bill. Dad's footing the bill for years. Question 12. This social network featuring 6-second long video clips was acquired by Twitter for $30 million and died after 5 years. What was that thing called, remember? This social network featuring 6-second long video clips was acquired by Twitter for $30 million and then died 4 years after that. Made it 5 years. And remember this question when in 3 years I'm asking you about TikTok. Nah, TikTok will live forever, right, guys? Everybody loves it. Just like Snapchat. We're all using that all the time, right? Oh, just kidding. It's not Snapchat. It is, of course, you got it, kids, Vine. It was called Vine. We hardly knew ye. I didn't know you because I didn't have a Vine. Question 13. This 1963 film and the 1996 remake was not so subtly influenced by the Robert Louis Stevenson classic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That should have a D. Nothing makes me madder than a misspell. We're better than that. We're better than that, Matt. This 1963 film and the 1996 remake was not so subtly influenced by the Robert Louis Stevenson classic, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Didn't know he wrote that. Learn something every day. Treasure Island and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's all you need, too. Makes you a two-hit wonder. I'm sure he wrote other things. What movie am I talking about? There's one in 63, one in 96. I haven't seen the 63 one. The 96 one, Manchurian Candidate's a good guess. But of course, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde famously drank a potion, became someone else, just like Eddie Murphy and the Nutty Professor. The Nutty Professor and, of course, Jerry Lewis in the original Nutty Professor. Question 14. In the novel Tom Sawyer, let's do more old literature. The title character acquires his peers' possessions in return for the privilege of doing what? You're welcome. You can do this. I'm just gonna sing Tom Sawyer now instead of talking about the question. I will not take my shirt off. Yet. Later, young lady. You're welcome. I get this, and you get to do what? Yes, yes. Painting a fence or whitewashing a fence. Painting a fence white. Painting a fence, if you said anything like that. It's nothing offensive about it. Nailed it. Question 15. In 1180, a Mongolian boy named Temujin was named chief of his tribe and given this title. 35 seconds. First person to get this title. Many more have gotten it since. I would imagine. I'd imagine there's still somebody going by this somewhere in Mongolia. Might as well, right? In 1180, Temujin. Temujin? Given this title for the first time, what's that title? Exactly. We can all, everybody yell it with me. It's actually just Khan! But if you said Genghis Khan, that's fine, but that's a different person. Genghis, then Khan. This was Temujin Khan, who was, I believe, was Genghis Khan's grandfather? I don't know. Question 16. This Russian-born American composer with a name that might seem German wrote God Bless America and 800 other songs. Busy dude. That last word is songs. It's covered by numbers now. In case you're wondering. This Russian-born American composer, he's a big part with a name that might seem German, wink, wrote God Bless America and over 800 other songs. We are singing some Looney Tunes versions of his music in my living room right now. 2-1. Indeed, QVC. Hope you're on the right side of it. Oh no, Wagner's a good guess, but it's actually Irving Berlin, i.e. Berlin, Germany. See what I did there? Question 17. This very small bowl, almost exclusively used to hold sauces in restaurants, takes its name from a French dish that used to be baked in a similar container. 35 seconds. What's that thing? What's that little thing? We have them in our house, but that's because we worked in restaurants and stole them. Most people don't have these. This very small bowl, traditionally white and fluted, now mostly stainless steel. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Board gamer, you got this one. Yep, you nailed it. Correct. Spelling doesn't count, but in case you're wondering, it's spelled like this. Ramekin. Ramekin. I hardly know her. Question 18. In Arabic, it's Sabah al-Kahir. In Mandarin, Zaus Shang Hao. Hebrew, Boker Tov. And Russian, Dobrai Oltara. I'm doing great. What does this phrase translate to in English? All those things mean the same thing in English. What do they mean? Sabah. I'm going to spend the next 30 seconds trying to pronounce these correctly. In Arabic, Sabah al-Kahir. Mandarin, Zhao Shang Hao. Hebrew, Boker Tov. Russian, Dobrai Utra. Dobrai Utra. I work with a Russian. I should figure that out at some point. She's from Vladivostok, which sounds way cooler in Russian. I always thought it was Vladivostok, but Vladivostok sounds like a fun place. Show it. Great guess. Yeah, also good guess, but Board Gamer speaks one of these languages. Good morning. Good morning. Top of the morning to ya. That's how you say it in Irish. This one's going to be one of those that you're going to be like, ah. Question 19. In 1999, a 5-year-old boy was rescued off the coast of Florida, spurring an international custody battle and his eventual return to Cuba. What was that boy's name? You guys remember? It was like the only news story for a solid 3 months. SWAT teams came in, grabbed him on camera, took him back to Cuba. And in case you're wondering, just a grown man in Cuba now. Raised by his father. If you got a last name, I'll give you a point. Or a first name. Ah, Board Gamer lived there. Got it. QVC knows the full name. Well done. Ooh. Ooh, so close. Half point for Larry. It's Elian Gonzalez. Elian Gonzalez was the news. Question 20. This is a good old SAT analogy list. Finish this list of duos. Bruce and Rathbone from 1939 to 46. Morel Cushing, 1959. Burke and Brett from 84 to 1994. Riley Farrell, 2018. And Freeman Blank from 2010 to 2017. What's the blank in there? 35 seconds. Famous list of duos. You might not know a lot of them. Because, you know, you probably weren't listening to the radio in 1939. Or maybe I didn't look it up. It might be movies. It wouldn't be TV. Burke and Brett, though. Did it for a long time. Finish this list of duos. Who's the duo with Freeman? Yes. Oh, good guess, QVC. Good guess. How do we do? Show them. I don't know what it says, but you'll see if it's right. It is, of course, your boy Benedict Cumberbatch. Those were all Sherlock Holmes and Watsons, or Watsons and Holmes, respectively. Martin Freeman was Watson. Benny Cum, as I like to call him, Sherlock Holmes. So there you go. But good guess on Robert Downey Jr. because I don't remember. Was it Jude Law played Watson in that? I don't know. He's not on the list though. He's out. But that would have made it an easier question, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's 2 rounds in the bank. We're gonna go schmooze in the living room. Y'all got 3 minutes. Take it easy. When we come back, pictures. Hooray! Bye bye. Disney princesses, things you can stick up your ass that are nutritious, and Black history.
Hey there, and welcome to Trivia Ronin.
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 I'm your host, Douglas Larlam, and I'm not wearing pants.
As of August 2019, what is the top grossing film to hold an MPAA rating of G?
It's gonna be a nice, quiet, intimate show.
She murders deaf children right after they get cochlear implants.
Don't ever forget I can kill people I think about.
We make up for it by being less creepy than Drew Carey.
Shit's going down on Twitch.
It's like 4 dementia movies. I wanted to watch them, but I forgot. Remember movies in theaters when they made money? That was the thing.
I'll make love to you.
Am I supposed to wait?
Saturday night and you're on Twitch during a pandemic. If you're not drinking, you're doing it wrong.
It's a cat toy on a reusable straw.
Fuck with that algorithm.
This is Doug's tie, by the way.
You almost don't need a gunshot to die.
Doug, you think we'll get a lawsuit out of this one?
I don't care.
Don't fuck this up, McNelly.
If you guys were just fucking dumb, I'd be better at this as a host.
It was Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. That came out in 2019. When was that? Everybody, yeah. Board Gamer, you are correct. Half point for remembering it is Jude Law. Guys, we're back. It's time for Wayla. You all know the drill. At some point, we'll do musical Wayla again, but I'm 13 shifts in a row and I have no voice. So, no musical Wayla today. Visual Wayla. But I did some excellent photoshopping, starting with this delicious first question. It's a bottle of, what is it? It's not a cordial. It's like a liqueur. What is it? Famously red. I guess that'll help. I'll give you a 10-second hint. What are you looking at? That's some Italian writing down there. Or should be. Hi, Emily, you're in the lead. We just decided now that you showed up. It's an ingredient in a Negroni. And, of course, yep, it's that thing. It's Campari, everybody. Campari. This one's going to be a real head scratcher. What country are you looking at right there? This is a map of South America. What you looking at? You guys can all, I mean, honestly, I left all the other names in there so you could do a little process of elimination in 35 seconds. I believe in you. What country is there? And just to be clear, it is French Guiana up top. So it's not that. That's one of those 3 that are unlabeled. Emily, we love when you dip in. It's good to see you, man. Miss you. There you go. 2-1. The answer is, of course, Bolivia. Bolivia is the one that was missing there. This one's easy. This is a famous pattern for fabric and wallpaper and such from the 70s. What do you call this? Emily, stay safe out there. Be well. Love to Dean. Hope you're doing good. I'm at Elbow Room now if you ever need a beer. A beer and an orange. I don't have any cinnamon, though. What pattern is this that you're looking at? It's trippy, right? Q. On the red pill makes you there. On the blue one, something else. Remember. Oh, no. It seems like pastel, but it's paisley. Paisley is what they call that. This one's a gimme for everybody. Happy 4th. This is the poster for a famous movie. What's the name of the movie? Give you a hint. Doesn't end well. Doesn't end well for the White House. You got it, Emily. No problem. You bring it, I'll do it. What is this a still from? Quel film? I'm assuming I'll give anyone in Twitch a bonus point if you watched it this weekend. 2-1. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. Welcome to Earth. Now, that's what I call a close encounter. Just some good one-liners, man. What are these things? 35 seconds. These are a specific type of implement. In fact, I'll give this to you. They're a specific type of wrench. Named for the company that originally produced it. Also, at some point, I asked this question as a question. And now it's a Wayla. That's the fun part of Wayla sometimes. We can recycle. Remember in the 90s when we assumed the whole world would be excited to celebrate American Independence Day? And we just assumed that's the most important one? Simpler times. 2-1. Of course, they are necessary to those of us who like to adjust our fretboards or make IKEA furniture. Allen wrench. Spelling doesn't count. I'll give 10 points to Larry if you can spell this correctly. What's this man's full name? Full name on this. If anybody gets spelling 100% correct, I think QVC is going to get it. I'll give you a bonus point, QVC, if you can spell his last name, but all I need really is his first name. Or even his nickname. I'll take his nickname. Who's this NBA Finals player currently? Because that's happening. The Suns won game 1. But this guy's got a bum ankle. See if he gets better. Of course, everyone got hurt this year. That's what basketball is about. There we go. Let's see it. JP Basketball or Big Baller Ben. And let's double check that spelling. You were so close, QVC. It's got a random O in the middle. Giannis Antetokounmpo, or the Greek Freak, as we like to call him. But I mean, that's what was that? 2 letters off? QVC, you nailed it. Anyway, take a half point. Nostalgia time. What is this console? This was a early 2000s, late 90s console. A famous controller. Some kind of memory card thing going on in there. I can't remember. But what was this called? Don't mind the whimpering dog in the background. This happens every day around this time. We think the dog is fine. Just to let everybody know. We've seen the dog. The dog has survived every day to this point. Doesn't seem abused. 2-1. Good guess. Good guess, Xbox. Xbox did have a big chunky controller like this, but this one is the short-lived Sega Dreamcast. I figured Board Gamer would nail this one. Here we go. This is a specific class of Mercedes. What class is it? It's a letter. It's either a class or a wagon. It's a blank wagon also, some people call it. Guys, I've been bartending too much and I have a very bad watch rash right now, which is really lovely. The odd injuries. I only play board games. Fair. What you don't say. Couldn't have gotten it from your name. I always thought you were just bored of what we do here, but I guess board gamer is. There we go. Now I see the pun. X class sounds good. Douche class is another good guess. Half point for douche class, but it is a G class Benz. Speaking of letters, who's this? Who's this gentleman? I guess you could give me his real name if you know it. I don't know it, but I just need a stage name for this gentleman. A hip hopper. He's a hip hopper. Hip hopper showstopper. You know. Famously likes bartenders. So we like him. He likes the bartender, but he's in love with a stripper. Of course. T-Pain. T-Pain is who that is. Last but not least, who's this drunk lawyer from The Simpsons? I need the name. Voiced by the late, great Phil Hartman. But this blank attorney at law is who this is. The only lawyer The Simpsons can afford. And many others. Often goes against the other famous character, Burns' lawyer, who doesn't have a name. 30 some odd seasons. And Mr. Burns' lawyer, I think, still doesn't have a name. Anyway, 2-1, of course, it is. That guy, show him. Roy McCoy's a really good guess and sounds like a good name. Lionel Hutz, attorney at law. His name was Lionel Hutz. If you knew it, you knew it. If you didn't, that's how trivia works. Good Wayla, everybody. Nice job out there. So that's 3. Uh-oh. I'm gone. I hope you can still hear me. I can't hear you. That's 3 rounds down. It's been a pleasure. We're going to do a story. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Miss you already. Story time, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Story time is my favorite time of day. Guys, I really painted myself into a corner with this story today, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to talk about China. Now, full disclosure, I spent some time in Southeast Asia as a young man. I lived there when I was... Oh, final minute of the Stanley Cup. Is Tampa Bay about to win this thing, QVC? Just put it in the chat. Hockey's happening. 1-0. Okay, so Tampa Bay is about to win the Stanley Cup. That's good for them. Just to date this specifically for you in the future. So I'm telling a story about a Chinese festival that has a lot of specific names. So I will be in the page more than I prefer to be, without actually blowing the answer, for those of you who were here 2 weeks ago when I blew the answer. So today, story time. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about a Chinese festival. This festival, it occurs every year on the 5th day of the 5th month of the lunar calendar. So, obviously, for those of us in the Gregorian model of things, it's different every year. However, if you are Chinese, same time every year, 5th day, 5th month. So sometimes it's known as the Double Fives Festival. If you're not up on Chinese numerology, here's just a quick primer. So basically, in numerology in China, we like our evens. We don't like our odds so much. Our evens are mostly auspicious. 2 is a good number. 4 is a good number. 8 is a great number. It's their most auspicious number because 8 in Mandarin is ba. I believe I'm doing the right tone, which sounds a lot like fa. And fa means getting rich or to get rich. So an 8 has always been associated with prosperity and wealth. For those of you who have, we did good morning earlier, but if you say Happy New Year in Chinese, it's Gongxi Ha Toi, Gongxi Fa Toi, or Gongxi Fa Choi, or Gongxi Fa Chai, depending on where you are. However, the fa is always the same, and it means wishing you prosperity or wishing you wealth in the new year, basically. So 8's a good number. 5 is not. It's an odd number. The Mandarin, the word for 5 in Mandarin is wu. Wu is bad because it sounds similar to the Chinese term for weeping or crying. So basically, it's like 5's like kind of a shitty number. So they were like, well, we got to do something on the 5th day of the 5th month. It's going to be a bad day. They also believe in China that on that 5th day of the 5th month is when all the poisonous insects come back. Poisonous snakes, scorpions, spiders. That's when they all come out of hibernation or whatnot. So really tough day. So what do? Let's have a party, man. We might as well just have a party to try and ward it off. Now, so they've been doing this party for a long time. But why? Story time. I'm going to tell you a few ideas why. And there's several options. So if you're in Northeast China, you might believe this story about Cao Yi. Cao Yi is this young woman's name. In the year 143 AD, her father, he was like a big time shaman in the village. I guess shaman would be an appropriate term, but sort of like a big healer, medicine man in her village growing up. It was a town called Shangyu. He drowned in a river. And in Chinese culture, very rooted in Confucianism, Confucianism believes in filial piety, which is a term referring to basically like honoring your elders and always being good to your elders. So she, after her father drowns in this river or is lost in a river, she spends the next 3 days looking for her father, doesn't find him. The townspeople eventually find her after 5 days. She's drowned in the river next to her father. So they honor her in this festival. Very sad. If you're on the east coast of China, sort of middle east coast, near where the former kingdom of Wu was, back when there was sort of a... Anyway, we don't need to get into Chinese history, but there were multiple small kingdoms before it all unified in the Qing dynasty, but that's fine. We'll get there. That'll be a different story sometime. Former kingdom of Wu, they honor a man named Wu Zishu. Hope I'm saying it right. He was a top advisor to the king of that region, King Fuchai, who this king was sent this beautiful bride, basically, or a beautiful concubine, depending on what story, from a guy named King Gujan of a neighboring kingdom called Yu. And so they were a rival kingdom. He sends this beautiful woman in. Basically, everyone's like, this chick's a babe. Let's let her hang out. She starts saying, guys, all we need to, let's just hang. Let's have a good time. Why are you all worried about this stuff? And basically convinces the king to stop worrying about affairs of state and start just partying with her. And so he does. And so this man, Wu Zishu, was like, this woman's bad news, dude. We need to stay on top of things. The king ends up forcing him to commit suicide by drowning. He has to just walk into a river, drowns, dies. This guy Wu. Within 10 years, Gujian, the king of the neighboring kingdom, had invaded and conquered King Fuchai's kingdom and forced King Fuchai to commit suicide in the exact same way. So every year they honor this guy Wu Zishu, who was warning the king about this. So that's two possible options of this festival. You'll see a theme. The main story that they talk about in China is a guy named Ku Yuan. Ku Yuan was a Chinese poet-statesman. That was a big thing back in the day. You'd see a lot of poet-statesmen going around, hanging out, advising kings, doing what they do. He was a minister for another kingdom, Kingdom of Chu, during a different period of time called the Warring States period. There were like 5 kingdoms. They were all warring each other. Technically, there was an empire, but they were all sort of fiefdoms, constantly fighting each other. So the king decided he was going to ally with another kingdom just to the west called the Qin Empire. So this guy, Ku Yuan, was like, don't ally with them. They're bad news. Same kind of thing. He gets banished from the kingdom. He spends the next 28 years wandering around doing poetry, settles in this sort of small town near a river. Eventually, 28 years later, like he said, the Qin dynasty conquers the kingdom where he's from. So the Qin dynasty comes in, conquers his kingdom. He's so distraught, even though he hasn't been there in 28 years, he's so distraught, he goes out, he drowns himself in the nearest river. So apparently when that happens, the locals where he was loved him so much, they all get in their boats and they go out and look for him and try to save him. But it's too late, he's drowned. And once they realize he's drowned, they start dropping packets of rice into the river. So the fish would eat the rice and not eat his body as sort of a sign of reverence, right? So I don't know if it worked, but it's what they did. They had these rice dumplings called zongzi, that they would make. Whatever this story, all right? Nowadays, this festival still happens every year on the 5th day of the 5th month. They still eat zongzi, which can either be a savory rice dumpling with pork or a sweet rice dumpling with a little red bean paste in there. They still do that. They staple photos of these 5 poisonous animals to their wall, like scorpions and stuff, to try and prevent the poisonous animals from coming, which has been a tradition of this festival for a long time. But I would say most famously, they stage races on bodies of water in boats. Essentially, they're ornamental, beautiful boats that they have races against each other to honor either whoever you think, Ku, Wu, or Cao Yi, who I've mispronounced all 3 of them. My question to you with 35 seconds on the clock is, what is the name of this festival involving boat races and dumplings? 35 seconds. Celebrated all over the world in Chinese communities. San Francisco has a huge one of these every year. I know in my hometown of Singapore, they would have a big one. All of Southeast Asia. 5th day of the 5th month. Aquatic themed festival. Whole lot of drowning going on. We hope no one drowns these days. 35 seconds on the clock. 2, 1. Let's see it. Twitch. Anybody got it? Zoomers, we got it. Good guess. Cinco de Mayo is an excellent guess. But Board Gamer, 10 points to you. It is called the Dragon Boat Festival. The Dragon Boat Festival, everyone. That is the name of that. Big deal. If you knew it, you knew it. It's a tough one. If you haven't seen it before, go Google the Dragon Boat Festival. It's cool. The boats look great. They're really cool. If you played Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, you basically are in a dragon boat the whole time. That's it, everybody. Thank you for playing. Good work, Board Gamer. Our big winner, as always, Larry, nailing it on what's this thing called? Zoom? This Zoom thing that we do. Guys, big news, big Trivia Ronin news. We're doing our first in-person event with the good people of Tinder sometime in July. We're excited to do it, and by we, I mean me. Doug is still in the Midwest. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. We're just happy to be able to see people again until the Delta variant makes us all go home again. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for supporting us as we continue to grow and make this experience happen. Thank you, QVC. Thank you, Board Gamer. Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you. For all of us at Trivia Ronin, my name is Matt McNally saying, don't be shitty. Get vaccinated, man. Please. God. I have so many people I know who are sick with COVID. That doesn't make any sense. So get vaccinated. If you don't, whatever, we'll all go home and we'll have 30 people on the stream every Wednesday again anyway. So appreciate you all. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.